Fly fam, what's going on? It's your boy Fly Kai. Welcome to Fly Kai Crypto. I got an article here. I'm gonna get straight to it. I wanted to get into this, man, because I feel like it's important in crypto and in the things that surround crypto that we understand the audience that we're targeting, right? The people that we want to come into the space that we occupy. With Web3 gaming, crypto obviously is going to be a big part of that. We want gaming to succeed because crypto will go farther um, when gaming goes farther, right? So this article um, is talking about Web3 gaming getting our audience when we stop talking about Web3. So basically, the gist of the article, I'm going to go through the article, but the gist of the article is that we should focus more on the gaming and less on the Web3. And I agree. I agree. I think that in Web3, we're doing too much to try to convince people that Web3 you um, should be the center point of why people should go from basically, I don't want to call it Web2 gaming, but gaming the way they don't own their assets within the games to Web3 gaming. And this is not to mention, this is not going into virtual reality, augmented reality, headsets, or anything like that. This is Web3 gaming on the consoles that they're used to. So, like the game I introduced a few videos ago, Compete, that is a Web3 game that will be on the platforms that gamers are used to. You're used to Xbox, PlayStation, iOS, Android, PC. But what's the difference between the games that you're used to, like Call of Duty and Fortnite on Web 2, and a Web 3 game like Compete? Owning your digital assets. It's owning the things that you play with within these games, utilizing cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Sounds boring, right? Exactly. The game is more important than the actual fact that people will be able to own. But if they actually knew what it was like to own the assets, they will brag about that on their own. Let's get into the article, man. So it starts off um, just basically giving the sum of opening the article. Basically, we're gonna skip through that, and we're gonna go straight into um, do what we do best: build. If Web3 gaming is to be a success, we need to bridge the gap and win over Web2 audiences. I mean, that's definitely the goal. That's obvious. NFTs lack intrinsic value for gamers. Many gaming studios attempt to integrate NFTs superficially, resulting in NFTs that exist in name only, often players minimal control in secondary markets. That's the problem. That's what Web3 is looking to solve, providing ownership and control for the people who are purchasing the assets, instead of leaving the control in the hands of the companies that make the games that ultimately are already making an extreme amount of profit off of the people who are playing the games, right? It says we must stop shouting about the technical structures of Web3 gaming and focus our conversation on enhancing the user experience. Users are less concerned about whether the game operates on or off chain. The games just need to be built easy and enjoyable to play. That's it. Literally, this article could have stopped here because that's the point that needs to be driven home. Nobody cares about blockchain. People barely know about blockchain. Gamers, people in finance, like they don't care about the structure, the technology. They just want to use the services that they used to. And if you can make those services better, just the service itself, I'm sure they'll buy in. And if they can get benefits from Web3 without you having to explain what Web3 is, they'll take those benefits too. But we have to kind of give them what they're used to and then explain the benefits of what's new as they enjoy the better services. You know what I mean? Like, if the game that I talked about, Compete, is actually better than Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, and these games, and people play it and they like it, then they're going to continue to play it because they like the game better than those other games. And then once they get into the game, guess what? Oh, and I own the things that I buy inside of the game. Instead of buying it and then I have to use it, but I can't resell it and this and that. Once you start to break down those benefits after they get hooked to the game, then they're going to brag about the game and the benefits on their own. I feel like we're trying to get people to brag about things that they haven't experienced yet, that aren't fully launched yet. It's not adding up, man. You can't sell the technology, you have to sell the game. Let the people brag about the benefits of the technology. Think about when credit cards came out, right? I remember as a kid paying for things in cash. And then these cards came around, right? And people were skeptical of these cards. And eventually everybody had a credit card. But in the beginning, people were like, man, I don't carry cash. What if I lose it and this and that? People were coming up with reasons on why they shouldn't use credit cards. And then other people had the credit cards, and guess what happened? They liked them. They bragged about the benefits. Oh man, if I forget my wallet or this and that, I just happen to have my credit card with me. And see, you would have been stuck because your cash is at home. You know what I mean? Or I just swipe and you gotta count money and this and that. They're bragging about the benefits of the credit card. So if you don't have a credit card and you're carrying cash, now you're looking at this person that has a card and you're like, man, I need to get a credit card. You right. The same thing is gonna happen with Web3 gaming. There's gonna be somebody playing Fortnite or Apex or this or that, and Compete is gonna come out, which it drops on Epic Games tomorrow. Don't you guys forget that. Compete, Kompete. You can look it up at compete.game. We'll be on Epic Games October the 16th. But there's gonna be people playing Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty. Compete's gonna come out, and people gonna be talking about, oh, this new game, right? Oh, I'm on Compete. I'm on Compete. And as people hear it, it's gonna register. Okay, they're aware of the game. They may not go and play it or download it then, but they're aware of it. And then what's gonna happen? Later, the person's gonna say, okay, I bought a skin or I bought um, some new outfit or clothes, right? Using cryptocurrency, and I own it, right? To where I can resell it. And they're like, what? What you mean you own it the way you can resell it? Like, if I want to resell it to somebody, I could resell it. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? They may be interested or maybe not. But at the end of the day, if you're bragging about the game already and that benefit is there anyway, they might just come over because of the game. Or they might just come over because they can own the clothes or the skins or whatever other digital assets that are in the game. But it starts with the game. These games have to be good, man. Ultimately, and I ain't mean to ramble, but this could have been the end of the article, man. We gonna skim through the rest, but they could have really just stopped it there. Okay, so it says, it feels like you're dressing up microtransactions driven by corporate brands, capitalize on this trend without grasping the essence of blockchain technology. Um, oh, you read that already. I'm sorry. Going through use like a friend about range of gaming the keys. That's what the key. talking about finance and the amount of money that comes into Web3 gaming. And we're going to skip to focus on community because that drives home the last point we were talking about. Another crucial factor is to consider the role of strategic gameplay rather than solely relying on luck based mechanics. This element is sure to play a pivotal role for people who invest their money, value, time, and energy. When users commit their time and cognitive effort to strategizing gameplay, NFTs, genuine gaming culture, things begin to flourish. The combination of control, participation, and passion that players exhibit shapes the trajectory of these projects. A strong community is a cornerstone for a game's sustainability and long-term growth. So they're basically going into um, the things that need to be done to attract people to the space overall. But the key point when driving people to the space is making sure the games are on point. That's really it. Give people what they're used to and better, and make sure the benefits that come from the new technology are on point. So the way if somebody doesn't want to utilize it, it's not a red flag. It's not something that somebody can try to convince them not to play Web3 because that's there and it's not working or it's in the way. You know what I mean? Like, don't force people to have to interact with the new technology if they just want to play the game the way they normally play it. I think a game like Compete is the way they're stating it's going to be is going to be perfect because it's free to play. You can just download and play it. You don't have to buy anything. If you want to purchase, you can purchase through crypto. I'm not sure if you'll be able to purchase through fiat or not. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, just being able to play for free without having to utilize Web3 is huge. And I hope more games will allow people to pay in fiat, to play for free, and to make the Web3 part of the experience optional because it's going to bring more people towards games that offer the Web3 option, and eventually they'll want to own their assets anyway. You know what I mean? They'll want to own the clothes for their characters and skins and all this different stuff. Like, it's just what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not anything that we need to try to push on them before we get them hooked to the game. Get them on the game first. Push the game first. I would even push the game without saying it's a Web3 game, especially if it's a game that you can play for free. Because I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that it's a Web3 game if I can play for free and I don't have to buy anything using crypto. When I get there, eventually, as I'm playing with people, the conversation to come up anyway if I'm not aware. You feel me? But I just wanted to go through that with you guys, man, because gaming is such a big part of crypto. Like, if we want mass adoption, we're going to need gaming. We're going to need the finance space. We're going to need the music industry, the film industry, um, the education system. Like, we're going to need crypto to flow through all of these systems that generate large amounts of revenue yearly. And gaming is definitely at the top of the list. Like, we need gaming. So if we can figure out how to market these Web3 games in this next bull run, it's going to be one to remember, man. Because there's a lot of people when they get off work, they get out of school, they on vacation, they like to play video games. They spend a lot of money on these games. And there's a lot of benefit there that is being provided in Web3. Being able to own your own assets, whatever it is, NFTs, skins, clothes, even down to what people spend on V-Bucks and I forget what it is on 2K, the digital currencies. Like, inside of these games. If those were cryptos, you get the value from potential price appreciation, and it's just so much to Web3 that benefits these gamers. But we have to be able to market the games to them to where they can get to the benefit. Because we're in the way right now. The way we're trying to sell this is not working. As these games go from beta to full release, and they become available on these different platforms, we got to do a better job at marketing, man. That's it, though, man. I went through this article with you guys. This was more conversational than news, but um, I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day.